So I've got a database of 196,000 players, and I've taken the youngest 18 and the oldest 18 and put them into two opposing squads. Who's going to win? So hello and welcome back to the TomFM channel. Another one of these experiments where we are putting two teams against each other who have very different attributes or personality traits or something along those lines, differentiating factors. Today we have got the oldest and the youngest teams in Football Manager. The past few weeks we have done the fastest versus the slowest and the tallest versus the shortest. We're slowly building up this Premier League, which is formerly the Premier League. It's now just this weird database of different players, but we're slowly building this league up. Today, as I say, the oldest versus the youngest. It's going to be quite an interesting one. So I think we'll just dive straight into it. This is the oldest team in Football Manager. Every single player here is either 53, 54 or 55 years old. I've gone for the oldest player in each position as opposed to a team of 18, 55-year-old goalkeepers, for example, just to make sure it is relatively fairish. Thing is though, some of these players are pretty decent. This 55-year-old Russian centre-back, he's got a current ability of 131, which puts him at like a good championship level, maybe even lower Premier League level. But either way, at 55 years old, Alexander Yudin from Russia is actually one of the best players that you're going to find in one of these experiments, I would say. He looks really, really solid for 55 years old. Physicals, even though he's 55, aren't actually that bad. He's had a long career spanning from 1993 onwards in Russia. Apparently hasn't played for a club since 2012-13, but was in Football Manager, so he's in the club and hopefully will do a good job. His centre-back partner, Pedro from Portugal, also looks pretty decent with 111 current ability. However, apparently he only started playing football in 2014 in Macau, so a little weird that one, but he looks alright. There's also a player down here with 110 current ability, Wu Rirong, which I've probably said all wrong. It's a bit of a tongue twister, that surname, but he's Chinese, centre midfielder, and currently playing for a team in China. I'm not even going to try and pronounce. You will notice as well, there's quite a few players from Guam on here. There's four of them, but I think there's 5 players who currently play in Guam that I've actually brought over. I guess Football Manager must have a lot of data on teams from Guam, but there is one particular team in Guam that this guy used to play for. I know his name. If you look at his history, he played for a team called Big Blue Masters. Masters is basically a team for just like, you know, it's a nice way of saying old people. I say old people. 55 is not old at all, really, is it? But in terms of sport, it is. But quite a few players did actually come from this Big Blue Masters side, so clearly Football Manager have quite a bit of information on Guam for whatever reason, I don't know, but they've all come from there, quite a few of them. If we move over to the youngest team, you'll see that everyone here is 15 years old. There's loads of greyed out players for some reason. I don't know why the greyed out players are there. I can't get rid of them, so ignore those guys. It's these guys up top we need to be focusing on. In terms of current ability, there's no one quite as good as the players we singled out in the oldest squad, but across the board they are probably a little better. Quite a few players came from Peru, as you can see. A couple of players came from Italy as well. In fact, one of the players, I think it's this guy. Is it this guy? Plays for, I think he does play. He was on loan at Como. Yes, he was on loan at Como, but had been playing at Inter Milan before that. It does say youngest XI there. It was Inter Milan. This guy's an Inter Milan player, basically. There are 3 players rated at 72 current ability. They're the 3 best players in the squad. The first one is this guy. He's a striker, plays for Groningen in real life, and looks pretty decent, I must say, actually. That striker heart, if his vision was a bit better, would be on its way. Jorge del Castillo, a player from Peru. He's got 72 current ability as well. Apparently has been playing since he was 11 years old at that club, so interesting stuff. But he's a winger, some good crossing, some good dribbling, some good first touch. We could see a danger man. And the other player with 72 current ability is Dylan Sear, who I think was from Montpellier. He was from Montpellier, exactly. He's a left back, not great crossing, but good dribbling. Looks pretty decent around the board and quite decent mentals. So they are some of the standout players that we've seen so far. It's time to put them against each other for what I think is going to be the closest matchup we've seen so far out of any of these versus mode experiments. So kickoff is upon us here today between the Bairns and the Oldies. Let's just zoom in and let's also get the camera height all sorted out as well. There we go. You can see the picture a lot better now as the young guys are playing in the blue because they're playing as Chelsea. So they're in Chelsea's home kit as they look to try and get an early goal in this game, getting the ball forward. Del Castillo, the guy we sort of singled out a minute ago, passing to the strike partner that we singled out a minute ago, not getting the early goal. Chance now for the Oldies instead as they look to bring it down the wing. The cross in the middle not quite getting in there, unfortunately for them, as the young kids look to come. I mean, they are children. They are 15 years old, actually, so I can call them that. Get it out wide again, bring it back into the middle, and Fabrizio scores the opening goal of the game. I tell you what, the youngsters, they might have a bit of a better chance today, actually, because they will be physically a lot better in terms of pace, agility, acceleration, that kind of stuff. So they might just be better off, actually. That might give them the advantage. Not much else happening in this first half so far. Although a corner coming in for the youngsters once again. It goes through to absolutely no one. And their striker, Van der Werf, gets the ball instead. Gets it back from his midfield partner in the middle. They're really trying to work these crosses in nicely, the youngsters. And we've not seen them go through the middle of the pitch so far. It's always been down the wings. And they've had some luck for that so far. Obviously, their goal coming from that. But it is the oldies who get back on the ball, looking to build it out from the back, win the header, but no one's there to get on the end of it, unfortunately for them. The young goalkeeper collects the ball at the back then, clears it up to his winger, who's through, using that physicality advantage and slots it into the bottom corner. The Bairns 2, oldies 0. It's a well-worked goal, to be fair, just Route 1 football out from the back, and really well composed there from the winger, putting it in the back of the net. Throw in now for the youngsters. What can they do from this one? Asia into his midfield partner, back to one of the centre-backs, forward to that striker from Groningen, who uses a bit of physicality to try and get in front of the two very good centre-backs. The two good centre-backs, though, for the old team are not doing their job properly, as Jorge now gets his second goal of the game. So as we approach half-time, it's 3-0 to the 15-year-olds. I did think this would be a lot closer than it was, or than it is, but it's not. We are seeing some absolute domination from the youngsters out there, and I'm guessing that is just because of their physical dominance, I would suppose. They're just a bit faster, I would imagine. These guys with 55 probably don't have much pace or agility in them anymore, unfortunately, despite probably having the better of the players, maybe, particularly in the centre-back department. We've got two really good centre-backs playing for them, but clearly, without the rest of the team doing their job, they've nearly had a chance to score there, but they haven't been able to put it in the back of the net. Very unfortunate for them there, as they look to put a ball into the middle from the corner, and it's headed over the bar. They will not be happy today. You know, they'll be kicking themselves. They've been beaten by, well, that was quite an easy goal for them to score. The keeper's positioning was absolutely terrible there, I must say. And Evans gets a goal back for the oldies. It's a very nicely worked free kick, just right through the defence. Keeper's nowhere near it at all, and it's a good goal. So will we get a bit of a game on our hands towards the end of this one, or will there be another goal for the youngsters as they look to try and get one from the corner, not going in the back of the net? The ball forward is very good. Surely an offside in there. Not an offside. David van der Werf, he's got his other goal today. I think it's his second goal today, I believe. Makes it 4-1. Somehow no offside in there. I want to see this one back again, because I could swear there were like 3 players offside. We're not going to see it, apparently. I guess, I don't know. I mean, surely they'll show us an offside replay after this one. Come on. Show us an offside. Okay, offside replay. Ball forward. I mean, it would be helpful if they showed us the offside. Which they haven't done, but clearly it was onside. So with 20 minutes to go, the game looks wrapped up for the youngsters out there. With 15 minutes to go, another corner for them. They've had a lot of success bringing the ball in from the wings as they get this one cleared, the oldies, but the ball's coming straight back to them as once again Jorge, trying to drive into the area, is tackled instead. And the oldies can try and bring it out from the back. Evans feeding off scraps up front, not really being given much at all in the way of good balls coming towards him. As Jorge comes forward again on the other side of the pitch. Sia back to Jorge, into the middle, into Van der Werf, who's looking for a hat-trick. Can't get the hat-trick just yet, and it's hit the post. It's a great follow-up there from Jorge. He's been my man of the match, definitely down the wings. And another chance for the youngsters, again coming down the wings. They're having so much success down the wings. They just can't be stopped, although they are stopped there because the ball eventually gets in the middle. And there we go, Jorge with his hat-trick. What a game for him. I think he had some decent potential on him as well, so you might want to get him scouted out. If you just search him up, if you've got Peruvian leagues loaded up, then you might be able to find him. But as the clock ticks down, that's it. The youngsters have won it 5-1 in a very interesting matchup. So that is it for today's experiment. The youngsters have taken it. We are building up this league profile. Of course, let me know of other ideas that you've got for other matchups we can do. We'll get this league built up, and then we'll simulate it all through once we've got all the teams in there and see who comes out on top. If you have enjoyed today's video, make sure you do drop a like on it for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Goodbye.